Yes, here we go. Good morning to you, Grenada, and the rest of the world. It's a Friday morning, another weekend upon us. I'm George Grant saying thank you for joining us for today's edition of Gudday Grenada. Folks, another interesting program lined up for you this morning. By the way, for those of you who were not able to join us last night, for McWe Chat, this week's edition of McWe Chat, you may do so on the Facebook page, or you may also, right on the page where you're at right now, the GRENADABROADCAST.com page. You can go there, check it out. You know, we archive all our programs: Law Made Simple, Sundays with George Grant, Gudday Grenada, and also McWe Chat. They're all archived. So especially for those of you who have been having an awful lot of trouble hearing us properly and seeing us properly on Facebook, you can always go back after the program's over and listen or view at your leisure. Now, this morning, we're going to be taking a look at some questions which the Senate, they're going to be meeting soon on Tuesday of next week, to be precise. There are some questions that they're going to have to answer. We'll share those with you a bit later on. Last night on McWe Chat, interesting program. We had a surprise guest show up. Dr. Patrick Antoine, who is Grenada's former ambassador to CARICOM. He showed up, and let me tell you, what a zinger that was. Very interesting program. So if you did not see it last night, that's the reason why I'm suggesting that you do go back and take a look at it today. And one of the things coming out of that discussion last night was, how do we help the teachers who are hurting and will be hurting, especially during the upcoming holiday season? Very, very important issue, okay? So you can go check that out. And we're going to have a little piece which was done by Beverly after the program last night. In addition to that, we have the National Report, as we usually do. And after the National Report, we are going to bring you a little bit more extensive report on what went on last night, so you'll understand how this idea about supporting the teachers came about, okay? So it's going to be a very interesting morning, and we are delighted that you're with us. Already I see Lori Bridgman saying, "What's up, GT?" Who's GT? GG. Thanks for joining us, Lori. Nice to have you on board. Benign Neglect is also with us, saying good morning, George and Grenada. And these are on Facebook, and there are people on the other platforms as well. Now, let's get down to brass tacks. The Senate will be meeting on Tuesday at 9 o'clock in the morning up at Mount Waldale. And Senator the Honorable Ron Livingston Redhead will ask the leader of government business, Senator Simon Steele, the following questions. And these questions come in several parts, by the way. Question number 1. Would the leader of government's business inform the Senate of the present status of the inquiry into the Marketing and National Importing Board? Part 1. Part 2. In so doing, would the leader of government business provide the House with the names of the members of the body currently conducting the investigation? Part 3. Was a financial audit completed in accordance with Section 82 of the Public Finance Management Act on the M&IB for the periods 2013 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, and 2018. Part 4 of that question. Did the Financial Intelligence Unit, better known as the FIU, investigate M&IB at any time during the period between 2013 and 2018? The next part, Part 5, would the findings of the investigation be made available to the Senate? Okay, so that's your 5-parter question number 1. Second question that is going to be asked. Part A. Would the leader of government's business inform the Senate of the terms of the current oil and gas exploration arrangement or contract with Global Petroleum Group and or any other partner involved with oil and gas exploration in Grenada's waters? Part B. What economic benefits does Grenada stand to gain from the current oil and gas exploration arrangement or contract with GPG and or any other entity? Part C of that question, question number 2. Would Grenada be compensated for loss and or damage to the environment and marine life arising from any event connected to the ongoing exploration? So, those are the 3 parts of question number 2. Remember now, these are going to be asked in the Senate when they meet at Mount Welldale next Tuesday morning. And those are questions which many of you may have forgotten about, eh? Well, they're going to be asked. Question number 3, Part A. What is the cost to the government of Grenada for the referendum which was just held? Part B. Did the CCJ Advisory Committee have a budget? Part C. If yes, what was the quantum of that budget? And finally, Part D of question 3. What was the source of funding for the said advisory committee? So there you have it. Those are the 3 questions that are going to be asked on Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock. All right. Just before I move along, let me turn back here to Facebook, see who is there. We already acknowledged Lori and Benign. Well, Veronica Sandy is saying, good morning, Mr. George Grant. Veronica, why don't you just call me George? Please. Would appreciate it. And she's saying good morning to Grenadians, and she's also sending season's greetings to you folks. Fitzroy Adams says that he's in the house. He's in Brooklyn, but he is in the house. And, of course, our little sweetheart, Margaret. Margaret Francis is in the Big Apple. She's saying good morning and wishing everyone a happy Friday. Now, on last night's edition of Make We Chat, which, by the way, was very thought-provoking. As I mentioned to you a little while ago, we had a surprise guest in the person of Grenada's former ambassador to CARICOM, Dr. Patrick Antoine. He made a suggestion which I thought caught us off guard, but one which everyone on the panel agreed with. Yeah. Yes, sirree. It was about reaching out to the teachers who are caught up in the dispute with government and who will be facing some very challenging days ahead, particularly during the upcoming holiday season. One of the usual suspects, Beverly Sinclair, was a part of that program, and Beverly filed this report. Check it out.
Economist Dr. Patrick Antoine is putting his support behind a GoFundMe drive for teachers in Grenada who had deductions made from their salaries for the month of November. Dr. Antoine, who was a guest on the popular Thursday evening program Mec with Chat on GRENADABROADCAST.com, expressed his hurt and disappointment at how the teachers have been treated and put forward the idea of the GoFundMe account.
If what I hear is true, and let me repeat, if what I hear is true, and many of them have lost as much as $1,000 or $800 or $600 from a paycheck of $1,500 or $2,000, where already a lot of it is committed to non-escapable expenses, then a lot of them are going to have a bleak Christmas. And therefore, George and the rest of you, Beverly, all of you, I have thought about whether it wouldn't be a good idea to start a GoFundMe account for teachers. I really have agonized over this. GoFundMe is not something that I rally to very easily, but I can find no other consensus instrument that would garner the wide support that would be required.
Catholic Bishop Clyde Harvey was named as one person who would be approached to seek assistance in administration of the fund, as the Mec with Chat panelists agreed that this would help to bring some relief to the teachers who have been treated as Guy Fawkes over the past weeks. Dr. Antoine recalled the intervention of former teacher, now a lawyer and a former Attorney General, Cajeton Hood, who changed his life to highlight the contribution of teachers to the society.
People like that, you can't pay them enough for those sacrifices. The people who would bring books when they travel on their menial salaries, we can't pay them for that. They deserve respect. So I despair at this time, and I know Prime Minister Mitchell himself was a teacher. I know many of his colleagues were a teacher, and I've heard the offers of going and setting up teaching centers. But I'm appealing to all of us, not just them, but all of us on all sides, without regard to partisan politics, that the teachers are in a particularly vulnerable position, many of them. And I'm just pleading that we stop the clock, that we get back around the table, but we do so with compassion, and we send the right signals from the top that our teachers need to be respected.
The former ambassador to CARICOM also bemoaned the silence of certain sectors of the society, all of whom would have benefited from the sacrifices of teachers.
You are right in terms of the, I think, caution of many of us to speak out on these matters, but we stay silent to the very peril of the societies in which we live.
Teachers in Grenada had as much as $1,200 deducted from their salaries in November. As a result of strike action they took to press demands when negotiations broke down with the government on payment of gratuity. Dr. Antoine says he is ready to make his contribution to the GoFundMe account for affected teachers and will mobilize his colleagues in Trinidad to do the same. Beverly Sinclair for Island Media.
Thank you very much, Beverly Sinclair, for Island News. Now, remember, I did promise you that I'm going to run another piece at the end of the program this morning, which will explain exactly how this whole idea came about. But first, let's pay some bills.
Why wish upon a star? For a bank is better by far. Whatever you're wishing for this Christmas, will give you low interest and no fuss.
Co-op Bank is making Christmas wishes come true. Fix up your home, treat your loved ones, and get everything on your Christmas list this year with our no-fuss loans. As we count down the 12 days to Christmas, you can win awesome prizes every day. Special terms and conditions apply.
Christmas wishes come true with Co-op Bank and you.
Welcome home.
Spread some cheer and show you care with Grenlec's Give a Wish promotion. Do you know someone who has had a challenging year and deserves some good fortune, or a worthy cause that needs extra support? Grant them a wish this holiday season with Grenlec. Just pay your bill in full, then write their name, address, and phone number on the top portion of your bill. Add your phone number and drop it into the wish box at any of our Grenlec customer centers, or you can enter online via our Facebook page. 15 customers will receive a $500 electricity voucher for giving a wish to someone who deserves it. And 15 winners will each have their wish granted, valued at up to $1,500. What's more, 230 lucky customers will win $75 electricity vouchers. Spread the cheer this year with Grenlec's Give a Wish promotion. Visit our website or Facebook page for more information. Terms and conditions apply. Promotion ends December 21st.
Juve chocolates, cocoa nibs, and cocoa balls from Diamond Estate Grenada are now available at Amazon.com, Amazon.ca, Amazon.co.uk, and GrenadaMarket.com. Try their sensational touch of nutmeg and a touch of ginger chocolates, 75% dark and rich, 100% pure cocoa, and their 60% dark and sweet chocolate bars today. Amazon Prime members enjoy free shipping on these orders in the USA, Canada, and Europe. GrenadaMarket.com. When you can't come to the island, the products of the island will come to you.
Okie dokie, folks, just before we fire up the national report, back to Facebook for half a second here. Spice Babes Duncan. Hello, Spice Babes. Saying good morning, and she says, he or she says, oh my gosh, Grenadians need Jesus. Yeah, Spice Babes. Yeah, we really do. And Veronica Sandy is responding to me. I was kidding Veronica a little while ago and, suggesting that just call me George. Veronica says here, if you say so, George, but that's the way I was raised, to respect those in authority. God's blessings to you. And she starts chuckling. Veronica, listen. Veronica, moi? In authority? Girl, you must be kidding. Maybe I have a kind of high profile in this place, but authority? Who listens to me? Except you guys, hey? And Veronica, listen, in all seriousness, I understand what you're saying, eh? I really do understand, because I, too, was brought up that way in La Baie, okay? But do you think that I would consider it disrespectful if you called me George? I mean, I call you Veronica. I don't mean any respect. It's a term of endearment, friendship, So I hope you don't mind me calling you Veronica. And please don't send another note to me saying, please call me Miss Sandy. No, only kidding, Veronica. Folks, I'll tell you what, time now for us to fire up yesterday's edition of the National Report. So here we go.
Ministry of Education working towards quick reimbursement process for teachers who experienced salary deductions in error. Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details in the news for Thursday, 30th November 2018, I'm Delroy Lozar. The Ministry of Education says it is working towards a quick verification and reimbursement process for teachers who reported for duty during the recent strike action surrounding the advanced payment of pension, but however experienced salary deductions. The ministry issued a statement on Thursday saying it empathizes with those affected and is working to clarify the issues related to these deductions. The information which the education officers used to determine which teachers attended school during the strike days was verified through communication with principals, the school register, and visits to some schools. The ministry added that in a case where a teacher did not sign the register, where the principal did not provide the information, or where the education officer did not meet the teacher at the school, the possibility exists that there may be a salary deduction. However, it is also aware that these deductions were not made across the board. The ministry has made arrangements to collect information regarding deductions made in error and will submit these corrections for immediate payment. Vendors who conduct their business on the streets of Grenville could be relocated in the next 2 weeks. Acting Commissioner of Police Edwin Martin says they want to move the vendors off the streets and into the market to ease traffic congestion and enhance business operations.
An instruction has already been given to the officer in charge of Grenville to start collaboration with the market management, with stakeholders and vendors to give effect to this move by the 15th of December.
Speaking with the media on Thursday, the acting police commissioner said they hope the results will be similar to those recorded when the process was undertaken in the town of St. George.
As we have done in St. George's, and we have seen the effect of clearing vending off the street has had in the town of St. George, we are now looking to move this into St. Andrew and see if we can improve the environment of doing business in the town of Grenville and make it more accommodating to persons.
A significant growth in overall tourist arrivals of 19.19% has been recorded for the period January to October 2018. Communications Officer at the Grenada Tourism Authority, Rhea Murray, made this announcement during an exclusive interview with the GIS on Thursday. Murray says this has been adding quality to the Pure Grenada brand of the Grenada Tourism Authority and adds to the boosting of the tourism product. The stayover market is said to be the biggest revenue-earning sector in the tourism industry and has been recording significant growth, with the USA contributing more than 47%, the UK 16.38%, the Caribbean 18.69%, and Canada 10.25%, with contributions from Germany and other countries. With the launch of the newly built Silver Sands Hotel, among other luxurious hotels on the island, Murray says enormous growth will be realized in the hotel industry, thus boosting the tourism sector and adding quality to Pure Grenada.
We have witnessed the official opening of Silver Sands Grenada. And basically we are excited about it because it really adds to the luxury element of Pure Grenada, the Spice of the Caribbean. We have the Calabash Hotel, we also have the Spice Island Beach Resort, and they have been really flying the flag high for the luxury market. And now we have Silver Sands adding its rooms and its villas, and it is a wonderful time indeed. We have collaborated with Silver Sands, and we see that many journalists have written about Silver Sands. They've been talking about it, awaiting this new luxury product on Grand Anse Beach. So we welcome the opening of Silver Sands, and we also have other properties that have not stopped but are continuing to improve their product.
The increase in air transport, she says, is welcoming news for all the sectors, since it will boost economic activity.
From the U.S. market, we have an additional flight from American Airlines beginning on the 22nd of December, flying out of Miami, and it allows for more seamless connections. And then starting December 18, Grenada will have 3 direct flights from Canada through Air Canada Rouge, coming out of Canada's Toronto Pearson International Airport. And the flights will be on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So this additional flight gives Canadians more options to get to Pure Grenada, especially during the winter. And as I would have told you, the Canadian market is indeed doing well, and we want to see it continue to do well.
The GTA communications officer also shared that Sunwing Charter will also increase its flights to Pure Grenada.
Delta Airlines, which is a seasonal flight, it currently comes out of the Hartsfield-Jackson Airport, and that's out of Atlanta every Saturday. And then we have JetBlue, which continues its flights. They have 5 weekly flights from the JFK International, and they will be offering their premium mint service from December the 1st. And not forgetting the Sunwing Charter, we will have 22 additional flights from Sunwing on Sundays beginning the 16th of December.
This is the National Report. More news after the break.
Data reveals that rats and other rodents are responsible for the transmission of many diseases. In Grenada, the most common is leptospirosis, and it can cause your death. This disease is directly related to rats and mice infestation. Signs and symptoms of lepto, as it is commonly referred to, are high fever, headache, chills, muscle aches, vomiting, jaundice, and abdominal pain. If your home had or is infected with rats and you have any of these symptoms, please check with your doctor immediately. Declare war on rats. Starve them. Kill them. Rats are the most unwelcome guests. Reduce, control, eliminate them. This is a message from the Ridge to Reef Project, protecting biodiversity and ecosystem functions.
Welcome back. 4 members of the Royal Grenada Police Force have been making a name for themselves on the international front. The 4 were given special mention by Acting Police Commissioner Edwin Martin during a press conference on Thursday. Corporal 93 Neil Williams was named Distinguished Honored Graduate, who received a Commandant's Award at the Non-Commissioned Officers Professional Development Course in the United States. He came up against participants from Latin America and the Caribbean. Constable Sampson recently made waves through social media, having performed on the Kremlin stage in Russia, doing a rendition in Russian language. He returns to Russia in January to complete his studies in criminal law. Also recognized by the acting commissioner was Constable T. Frederick. She attended a unit specialist course in the U.S. and was awarded an honorary affiliation by the Quartermaster General of the U.S. Army, and also given membership to the Quartermaster Corps because of her excellent performance in the course. And Constable 323 Welch participated in an instructor's development course in the United States. He achieved a distinguished award for overall performance, graduating with a distinction as an instructor. He is now integrated into the regional security system as an instructor. And finally, evaluating the impact of substance use treatment and interventions carried out in Grenada and other Caribbean countries. That was the focus of a recently concluded workshop on substance use and treatment capacity building. It was undertaken by the Drug Control Secretariat and the St. George's University. We get the details from Annette Moore.
The treatment workshop is part of the Caribbean University Interdisciplinary and Integrated Drug Demand Reduction Project based at SGU.
The participants are nurses and social workers, are people who work directly with addicts. And so this will help them to shape the treatment programs much better and to be able to provide appropriate services for the persons who require such.
25 stakeholders participated in the treatment workshop. Alexander says that his office will continually communicate with these persons to ensure that the best practices are used and to continue training.
For this session, we're focused on working primarily with persons that are involved directly with the treatment of persons who use alcohol, marijuana, and so on, and to the point where they need to access treatment for those for use of those substances.
The aim of the research project is to evaluate the impact and effectiveness of the substance use treatment and interventions carried out in Grenada and St. Vincent, and to build capacity for drug demand reduction through community outreach. Dr. Tonya Frame, assistant professor at SGU, leads the project in collaboration with the Drug Control Secretariat.
What we hope to achieve is to at least impart some knowledge on different modalities of treatment and so on, to just guide their everyday practice.
Amalera Marshall noted that the quality of facilities for the care and treatment of persons affected by substance abuse is of prime importance.
Some of what we have to do when we think of scaling up services for this population at the preventive end or the treatment end is create enabling environments, policy environments, legal and policy environments, as well as places where people can work, places that are set up to be conducive to the kind of work they're hearing they ought to be doing. And that can get down to basics. Where do we do it? What should the facility look like? What kinds of services would we need to have to minimally provide an acceptable quality of treatment or an acceptable repertoire of interventions designed to prevent this condition or these conditions and promote health.
I know there were some recent pronouncements by the Ministry of Health. I think the Ministry of Health talked about the relocation of Rathdoon from its present location at Mungay to bring it back to the General Hospital sometime, possibly 2019. And I think that's a good step, because what it means is that it would help to remove some of that stigma and discrimination of persons who think that if they go up to Mungay, people think that they're crazy.
The Inter-American Drug Abuse Control Commission of the Organization of American States, CCAD, is funding the training for substance use prevention and treatment. The project is almost complete.
We still have the community outreach part that focuses on our direct interaction with communities at risk. Part of what we're doing is essentially raising awareness as well. We know substance use is very prevalent in our society. A lot of people may not actually have a disorder, but the use of these substances over time does result and can result in disorders that may need treatment.
For the National Report, I'm Annette Moore.
Thank you, Annette. That story concludes the National Report for Thursday, November 2018. Recapping the main story, Ministry of Education working towards quick reimbursement process for teachers who experienced salary deductions in error. That's all from us here at the Government Information Service. Join us again next time. I'm Delroy Lozon.
I wish upon a star. For a bank is better by far. Whatever you're wishing for this Christmas, will give you low interest and no fuss.
Co-op Bank is making Christmas wishes come true. Fix up your home, treat your loved ones, and get everything on your Christmas list this year with our no-fuss loans. As we count down the 12 days to Christmas, you can win awesome prizes every day. Special terms and conditions apply.
Christmas wishes come true with Co-op Bank and you.
Spread some cheer and show you care with Grenlex Give a Wish promotion. Do you know someone who has had a challenging year and deserves some good fortune or a worthy cause that needs extra support? Grant them a wish this holiday season with Grenlec. Just pay your bill in full, then write their name, address, and phone number on the top portion of your bill. Add your phone number and drop it into the wish box at any of our Grenlec customer centers, or you can enter online via our Facebook page. 15 customers will receive a $500 electricity voucher for giving a wish to someone who deserves it, and 15 winners will each have their wish granted, valued at up to $1,500. What's more, 230 lucky customers will win $75 electricity vouchers. Spread the cheer this year with Grenlec's Give a Wish promotion. Visit our website or Facebook page for more information. Terms and conditions apply. Promotion ends December 21st.
Okie dokie, folks. It's now about 23 minutes away from the hour. At the top of the program this morning, I promised you that I would share a bit of last night's edition of We Chat with you. Beverly already did a piece at the top of the program this morning which explained that there is a move afoot to provide some relief for our teachers. What I'd like to do now is show you, it's about 5 minutes long, it's a clip, actually 3 clips put together which sort of explain how this whole idea of a GoFundMe campaign came about. Take a look at this excerpt.
But I want to just say that one of the key things for us to do as we look at this crisis now at the end of November, we have teachers who, looking at Christmas, it's going to be very dim for them. After all, if what I hear is true, and let me repeat, if what I hear is true, and many of them have lost as much as $1,000 or $800 or $600 from a paycheck of $1,500 or $2,000, where already a lot of it is committed to non-escapable expenses, then a lot of them are going to have a bleak Christmas. And therefore, George and the rest of you, Beverly, all of you, I have thought about whether it wouldn't be a good idea to start a GoFundMe account for teachers. I really have agonized over this. GoFundMe is not something that I rally to very easily, but I can find no other consensus instrument that would garner the wide support that would be required. Perhaps working through the teachers' associations, the schools, however it's organized, but putting together a GoFundMe account to assist some of those teachers as we look at what is going to be a bleak Christmas for some of them, with tremendous stresses, because many of them already have difficulties paying bills. If you know what's been happening at home, they choose to pay one bill one month and another bill another month. So it's really what I call hopscotching. If there is anything we can do that way through a GoFundMe account or some other mechanism, then I think it would be helpful. And this is without drawing party lines. I'm not interested in that discussion at all. I'm only interested in trying to bring relief to our teachers at this time. And I know a lot of them are hurting. And I think that this is certainly something tangible we could do. So those are my 2 recommendations on what could be done to ease the burden at this time of the year on our teachers who have given so much to all of us.
Patrick,
Yeah,
Patrick, that's a very, very admirable suggestion, and I would love to hear from my colleagues here their comments on it. The thing is, let me tell you, there are a lot of these funds out there right now, and generally you find people who can chip in at $20, $30, $50, whatever. But because of the magnitude of the issue we're dealing with here, I think you're going to need to get some people who are pretty well off. Maybe corporations, maybe some institutions who support democracy, that kind of thing, so that you get some substantial accounts, some substantial contributions. Let me hear you.
Oh no, I think his suggestion of the GoFundMe account is actually an excellent idea.
Yeah.
Um, the question is, who will manage it and set it up and get it all out there.
The logistics behind it.
Yeah. I mean, it's not hard. Setting up a GoFundMe account is not hard. I mean, you set it up, you take it on, you promote it on social media, and you send it out by email to people and stuff and everything else, and people contribute. So setting up the account is not hard. Getting the funds from the account is really not hard. It's just a matter of having, somewhere to distribute the funds, determine how to distribute it, who will do the distribution, that kind of stuff. Once you get it out of the account and you're ready to distribute.
I thought about that, and I like the name that Beverly called earlier. I like us approaching Father Harvey and saying, look, we want to do this. We will help promote it using the media that we have, George, and the other programs, the newspaper, etc. But we want you to manage this account.
Right.
We want you to manage it with the social partners. I feel very comfortable that Father Harvey is the right choice, the right face, and I think it fits with his efforts at bringing conciliation among the parties. I think coming out of this program, that's certainly something that we ought to try to do. So that, I think, would handle that problem, and he can work with the various bodies. I'm sure that with his church organization, he will choose to work either with the teachers, the schools, whoever. But giving them that responsibility, I think, would be as fair as any mechanism that we could come up with.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
I am myself ready to make my contribution and to mobilize a lot of my colleagues in Trinidad to make their contribution on a totally humanitarian basis. We're not interested in colors anymore. We're interested in people,
thank you,
sacrifice, and a lot of our teachers.
Okay, there you have it. That was an excerpt from last night's edition of MECWE Chat, and as I have indicated to you earlier on this morning, if you so desire, please go on to the Grenada Broadcast website and the archive section. Check out MECWE Chat, and you'll be able to see and hear that in its entirety, folks. Now, there's something I want to say, but I think I'm just going to wait until after the next break, and then we'll get that to you. So let's take that break, and we'll come on back.
Hubbard's, bringing you Frigidaire Christmas cheer. With the purchase of any Frigidaire fridge, freezer, stove, washer, or air conditioning unit, you get a free 3-piece Frigidaire non-stick pot set. Come into our appliance department on the Carronage and Building Supplies Grandance to get your trusted Frigidaire products and enhance your cooking this Christmas. Offer available while stocks last. Hubbard's, quality service, affordable prices.
Boy, it's Christmas again.
Juve chocolates, cocoa nibs, and cocoa balls from Diamond Estate Grenada are now available at Amazon.com, Amazon.ca, Amazon.co.uk, and GrenadaMarket.com. Try their sensational touch of nutmeg and a touch of ginger chocolates, 75% dark and rich, 100% pure cocoa, and their 60% dark and sweet chocolate bars today. Amazon Prime members enjoy free shipping on these orders in the USA, Canada, and Europe. GrenadaMarket.com. When you can't come to the island, the products of the island will come to you.
Why wish upon
Co-op Bank is making Christmas wishes come true. Fix up your home, treat your loved ones, and get everything on your Christmas list this year with our no-fuss loans. As we count down the 12 days to Christmas, you can win awesome prizes every day. Special terms and conditions apply.
Christmas wishes come true with Co-op Bank and you.
Okay. Folks, a couple of things before we pull the plug here this morning. First of all, let's take a look at Facebook here. I see that Lori Bridgman is saying step in the right direction. And I guess Lori is referring to the piece she heard just a little while ago about help for the teachers, setting up that GoFundMe campaign. All right. Now, the other thing I want to mention today, there are supposed to be 2 cruise ships here in town. The Norwegian Dawn, with a capacity of 2,340. She was due in here. I don't know if she's shown up in the last 5 minutes, but just a few minutes ago, I took a look outside and she wasn't there. Okay? And I'm giving you these the schedule as per the schedule sent to us by the Grenada Tourism Authority. Also due in here today is the Seven Seas Navigator. That's a smaller ship with only 490 persons. And yes, just towards the end of the national report there, I did take a look out, and yes, she is tied up at Melville Street, okay? Now, like I said, I don't know if during the past couple of minutes or so the Norwegian Dawn has shown up, but I can't leave here right now to go out there and check. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention to you, and I'm hoping that I'm not talking too soon, okay? Margaret out there in the Big Apple always raps me because it seems like every time I say good things about what's happening with our internet stream, or hell breaks loose. But I think you folks know me well enough to know that, yes, I can be critical. Yes, I can be critical. But you know what? I think if you're going to be fair, you will also admit that I jump at every opportunity I have to issue praises to people. And this morning, I'm sure that those of you who are with us on Facebook have noticed the stream it went perfectly for the first 45 minutes. Remember just a little while ago I said I had something I wanted to tell you, but I would wait until after the commercial break? Up to that point, there had been no, I repeat, no interruptions in the stream. And during the commercial break, I noticed my yellow light came on here indicating that we were having an issue getting up to Facebook. But hey, let's be fair, man. We went from the start of the program this morning for 45 minutes without that usual buffering and interruptions and what have you, okay? Thankfully, the interruption we experienced at the 45-minute mark only lasted for about 2 minutes. And we came back on. Green light again. And as I speak to you, there she is. Green light. I'm also looking at myself on the GrenadaBroadcast.com website there. Beautiful signal. Beautiful signal. As a result, even though We have had issues with the provider that we're using right now. And I'm going to call their name because these folks have taken a lot of blows. It's a small company here called Green Dot. They have been lambasted for the quality of service they provide. But you need to know the truth. They don't have the network or the backbone that they need to provide the sort of service they would like to provide. As a result, they have to rely on the network or backbone, if you will, of one of the big providers. Okay? I don't have to tell you, man, that provider has been a nuisance to the people of this country. Okay? But this morning I saw this in fact, I'm still seeing a very, very good signal going out to Facebook, despite the 2-minute interruption. And so, I don't have a hat, but I salute Green Dot. I want that to go down on the record. I had switched from Green Dot last week to one of our major providers. And those of you who've been with us, I don't have to tell you, you know what a horrendous disaster that was. Terrible. Well, yesterday, I got my IT people to come back in here and switch me back to the good old Green Dot. I'm glad that I did. They delivered. Yeah, we did have some issues last night on MequiChat, but that's been explained to me that between 8 and 10 o'clock at night, that's when a lot of people at home are using the internet, and it puts a lot of stress on the on the backbone, and as a result, you can expect to see these interruptions. Well, that happened last night. That was last night. I'll brush that off like I've been brushing off a lot of stuff for about 6 months now. Okay, more than 6 months. So Green Dot, we salute you. I'm sure the folks out there watching this morning appreciate the fact that they were able to watch this program this morning without any, well, just a teeny-weeny snafu. Okay? Now, I better shut up before it goes yellow again. Back to Veronica Sandy here. Veronica Sandy says, "Oh Lord, knock on wood. I didn't want to say anything." See, Veronica noticed as well. And I'm sure, I'm surprised I haven't heard from Margaret yet, but I'm sure that everybody else has noticed that we had a pretty good feed. So let's just keep our fingers crossed that this may be the start of something new. Okay? And it's not just the internet people are having hassles with here in Grenada. Telephones, your cell phones. Telephones, big issue, but that's for another day. Now, where are we? It's coming up on 5 minutes away from 10 o'clock. And I think it's about time for Georgie Porgy to pull the curtain down on today's edition of Gudday Grenada. Hold on a sec here, hold on. Benedict Cador has just chimed in on Facebook. He says, "Yes, we do. Green Dot." I guess he means they use Green Dot as well. So Benedict, do you understand where I'm coming from? I mean, it's just pathetic. It's just pathetic. The people in this country are being taken for a ride, and the authorities doing diddly squat about it. If they're doing anything, they're not telling us what they're doing. So one can assume they ain't doing anything. Folks, I'm going to leave you with a parting scripture. It's one of my favorite scriptures in the Bible. Comes from the book of Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 3. verses 5 and 6. If there's one scripture I know by heart, trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight. Yes, folks, keep those words close to your heart. Friday morning, so the weekend's here. I want to take this opportunity to invite you to join me on Sunday morning for the next edition of Sundays with George Grant. And join us again next Monday as we begin a brand new week of Gudday Grenada. Yvonne Joseph is saying good morning, George, and good morning, Grenada. Yvonne is just showing up. Where have you been? Thank you for showing up anyway. There's an old saying, better late than never. So yeah, we'll be back here next week, and hopefully, keep our pinkies crossed, we'll have a repeat of the level of service that we received this morning. Once again, hats off to you, Green Dot. God bless you, my friends. Have a great weekend.